Hi everyone, welcome to Crossways. How you doing? There's Steph. How you doing, Steph? Tell people.
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm really good.
It's nice to do this in person,
I
actually.
know I've missed you.
It's been too long.
It's
yeah,
been too.
we're back together now.
Yes, back together again. Obviously, last week I like the football what I've seen, but obviously last night and watching City and that I was very disappointed for you because I know what that all have meant to
Yeah.
you. So while it's fresh,
hmm
I just wanted to say, how you feeling? Obviously disappointed.
Yeah, disappointed. I think for me, like Champions League quarterfinals, especially after that first leg victory, I think we knew it was always going to be a tough task, and the fact that we played Chelsea back to back four times is going to be tough for any team. I think with their strength and depth of their squad, and obviously with the managerial change, there's a lot going on. But ultimately, I think even though you're disappointed the way that we got beat yesterday, for me, I think I'm proud of the girls because it's a lot as a player when there's a lot of change, and also we have a thin squad at the moment in time with injuries and players missing. So they give absolutely everything. And we just came short last night, which is disappointing. But at the same time, I think we have to be a bit realistic.
You know what? So how many, was that the fourth time?
Yeah, four times, yeah.
When you look at the way that they've progressed, especially the last couple of games, obviously last night not included, and you could see that Nick has definitely brought something. He's brought some kind of buzz. They look different. They look a little bit sharper than what they were doing under Gareth. But if we roll it back a bit, Steph, and thinking about earlier on in the season with certain games that City are going to play, FA Cup games, Conti Cup games, was there enough rotation for that team? Because when I looked at the team yesterday, knowing that Chelsea are going to come out and it's going to be high intensity, they look mentally and physically quite tired. And I think that maybe he didn't rotate enough with some of those good top players.
Especially them
Gareth,
early.
I'm talking, obviously.
Especially like from September to November when you've got the addition of Champions League.
Yes.
You're asking a lot of the same players to perform week in, week out, which is never normally a problem, but that accumulation of games, when it gets to this stage in the season, this is when you need people fresh. And of course, we've had big injuries to the likes of Bunny Shaw, Lauren Hemp, Alex Greenwood, and
massive.
Any team with them players in would miss that type of quality. But also, I think for me, and this is what has impressed me about Chelsea, is that they have prepared for the kind of long haul of Champions League, trying to get to a final, to a semi-final. They have players that are ready to come in when needed, but also when potentially you're in the WSL and you maybe play lesser teams, and this is no disrespect, you're able to kind of rotate your team a little bit because you've got faith in that player or within the squad. So I think there's no way that ideally you want to play the likes of Lily Murphy, who's a young player in a Champions League quarter-final. Gracie Pryor's played 4 games back-to-back and played really well, to be honest. I think the last 20 minutes is about surviving and just trying to dig in, and physically and mentally, it was tough for the girls.
You know something? If I'm Nick, I'm probably constantly saying to you, Steph, listen, look at our inexperience at the back. I'll be begging you to come out. That must be that kind of game last night, Steph. I know you're retired, and people don't realise when you are retired, there's moments and days where you have pangs of, should I play? Shouldn't I play? I do want to play. Then you get a game like that last night where you must have been sitting on there thinking, wow, this is the games that I would love to be playing in, Steph. I'm not saying that he's trying to tempt you out, but like you watching that game, Steph, it must have been so frustrating because that game needed your kind of player and your experience.
It was tempting, I'm not going to lie. I think when you get to the Stamford Bridge,
I feel sorry for those 2 girls. They need you.
And I think that's part of my role now, is to try and bring that experience, but in a different way. But obviously, once you're on that pitch, it's so hard to do anything. There's no way, no matter what words you say to young players or the team at them halftime moments, they have to be able to make them decisions themselves. And that's probably something that we've probably struggled to do, is that decision making in games, and being able to recognise, say, for the 3rd goal for Chelsea, there's 42 minutes on the clock. Do we realistically need to be going backwards? Can we maybe play in their half a little bit and get to half time 2-0 up? But it's all a learning curve for the girls. And I feel as though, for me, they massively miss Alex Greenwood. I think when she's a leader, and I think her consistency, and the likes of Bunny, because I think for me, if you have a Bunny Shaw playing against you as a Chelsea team, you've got something else to think about. I feel as though we just fell short last night. I think some players didn't perform, but ultimately Chelsea, I think they came straight out the blocks.
It was they were very good. Just I think that for City, knowing that Chelsea are going to come out like that was always going to be a problem for them. I think that when you looked at the chances, it looked to me like he worked on, and I don't want to give out secrets what's going on in the dressing room, but it looked like Viv for corners started, then tried to get herself on the front to flick it back. I thought that there was a great chance for Mary Fowler, who, she kind of got herself in. I think that was a chance, and especially against Chelsea, you have to look at those as chances. There was another one, I thought, with Mary Fowler, where Carolyn was made a great run around the side of her, and she tried to shoot. Instead of playing Carolyn in onto her right foot, she could have got in, she could have had a shot. And then there's another one with Mary Fowler again, where she's trying to shoot where she was off balance. Mm-hmm. Now, I know that it's not nitpicking, but when you're playing against Chelsea, especially what you guys needed, because Chelsea was so intense, you needed those chances, at least one of them, to go in to ease Chelsea off. And I thought that in those moments, I thought Mary Fowler made the wrong decisions, because you're not going to get the opportunities to play through Chelsea and get chances. And you have to recognise in the moments that I got to give this to Viv. I've got to play this in, give her a better chance.
The decision-making was poor.
And
I think even in the previous game at the Etihad, we went 1-0 up through Carolyn, but also she had 2 chances where we need to be better in them situations. And when you're at that level of a Champions League quarter-final, them decisions are the difference between the two teams. And I think the girls will come better of this experience, but I think obviously it hurts this morning. Of course it does. I think the girls have worked so hard and give absolutely everything, but I think we spoke just before the show is that I think the way that Chelsea, in terms of what they do off the pitch, on the pitch,
it helps.
The squad that they've kind of brought together, and you've still got the likes of Sam Kerr that's not even part of that squad.
Fisher's come back,
but that is a squad that's ready to compete on all fronts, and I think no matter what we've spoke about from a money perspective previously about who they've signed, this is about trying to win trophies and doing what you need to do. And Chelsea have kind of set that bar for the rest of the teams.
I felt for City because you could see the last 3 halves, before we do move on to Chelsea, last 3 halves of those games, Chelsea, I think it's 5-0 to Chelsea. The experience and obviously the bench has helped them. But City they've got to take positives from that, because like I say, you look at the chances created and Chelsea could have been breached. They could have been breached, but still, you have to give them credit because they started that game brilliantly.
They did.
Steph. And this is where probably City needed a little bit of experience, because they knew they're going to start like that. But can I just say, I think Erin Cuthbert, is somebody in a team, especially in that Chelsea team, that no matter what they do and who they sign, if they've not got that profile of player, it's not going to happen, because her energy, tenacity and everything is what drove Chelsea on as well last night.
I agree, and we did an interview with her after the Etihad game, and she obviously scored the winner in the last minute, and I think I just love the fact that she hasn't really pigeonholed herself into a certain type of midfielder. It's not like, okay, I'm say for example, Kira Walsh, we know that technically she is great for Chelsea in terms of sitting, but Erin can do a bit of everything, and also them bits that probably people don't really appreciate unless they're in your team is can you break up play? Can you get into the box to try and score? Can you get back and defending your teammates, but also put a tackle in?
Yeah.
And I think that's what she does, she's always going to play for Chelsea. She no matter which midfielders they pick, she's playing.
Exactly, and then you got, I thought again, one of my favourite players, in Myra Ramirez.
Yeah.
If I had Myra Ramirez, I would have done exactly what she done. I would have told her, you got to go at these inexperienced defenders. You've got to really make them go the other way. You know what I mean? The mistakes. And still, obviously, City were trying to pass it around, and Chelsea were just on them to the point where you can almost see that they were visibly afraid. I felt for Kyra Keaton as well, because I don't think she'd done much wrong.
No.
I thought the challenges in the box should have been a lot better to protect her, but she was very much on her line. But she still made some saves that kept you guys in the game if you were able to do it. But again, from Tracy's point of view, Lauren James, the way Lauren James was playing, captain.
Yeah.
They go back, they really, really were quite, how can I say, they were relentless in the way they were going at you guys, not giving you a breather. And I thought that was brilliant from their point of view.
When Lauren James starts to drift off the left and get into midfield, then she didn't do that at the Joy Stadium for the first leg of the Champions League, but the last 2 games, like, that is Lauren James at her best, and it's so hard to control that.
You know what? She's got a vibe where you could see there's a certain time in the game where Lauren James goes, I'm going to start enjoying myself. When the rolls, holding people off. I saw her hold someone off for something like, in a game, you could see how long it is. 15, 20 seconds holding her after, and then just flicking off. I said, yeah, she feels very comfortable in the game. Would you just
kicked her?
And you probably have to do something like that, because what you want to do is, you don't want her to get into the space in her head where this is comfortable for me. Let me start doing a bit.
And she makes it look easy as well,
She does make it look easy.
Yeah.
You know, they've got so much, you know, Kanyarid, so direct down that side. And then you've got Myra, so direct and going past people, making runs past people. Then you've got all that space for them to play. You know, the experience of Millie at the back as well. Again, you know, I can't fault them. And I won't fault Chelsea because, like I say, it's not like they've got a head start, they're doing anything wrong. They're investing in their team because they want to win things. And, you know, everybody has to start looking at how we're going to try and do that and emulate what they're doing, because you've got owners that are very much in for the long haul, and you've got players who want to win. They want to win trophies.
And you can just see that being a big squad for a number of years, can't you? Which is impressive. And they faced Barca in the semi-final.
Yes. What do you think?
I mean, Barca beat Wolfsburg 10-2 on aggregate. How is that even possible?
Can I say, you know, but you
at this level, quarter-final of the Champions League,
well,
10-2.
Yeah, but then you look at Barca, they lost to Real Madrid. The Real Madrid I watched, which we're going to speak about, that game against Arsenal on a decent pitch, and that Real Madrid beat that Barcelona.
Did you watch the highlights?
Yeah.
Barca just didn't finish the chances, and then Real Madrid just caught them on the counter. Yeah, but ultimately, you still won, yeah.
But what I'm saying with that Real Madrid team, especially the Real Madrid team I saw at the Emirates on a good pitch, I'm not impressed by them at all. And if I'm Chelsea, as much as we know that Barcelona are all about the Champions League, and that because we know that their league is something that they can lock down very, very quickly, I think that they're there for the taking. Barcelona, if Chelsea go about it in the same way.
I think in that physicality point of view, Chelsea probably top Barca. It's whether them moments that we speak about, it's like who is going to take them moments. And
so can I say with Barcelona, Eva Payol, against their old club.
Yeah.
Unbelievable free kick. Got to mention Mappy Leon as well. You see it?
Yeah.
Unbelievable
People
free
don't,
kick.
like, they underestimate, like, the set pieces. Like, they actually say, you spoke about them too, but also Reece James at England.
Reece James. Reece James is no better than them two in respects of ability and like execution.
Yeah.
But like, again, people might look at those games, and yes, I mentioned Real Madrid beat them. And yeah, they had chances and they had their off day. But you cannot see them being lax against Chelsea.
No.
They won't be lax against Chelsea.
You can't.
And in the moments as well, we can see there, Steph, that if Barcelona have to, they can curl one in from like 25 yards or 20 yards. But they're an impressive side, even though 10-2 looks like it might be a little bit of a walk in the park. They're an impressive side. But Chelsea have to look at their positives and how good they can be. And, you know what I mean? They're gonna. That's going to be a great game.
Yeah, it will be. I'm excited now to watch, to be honest. Even though City are not in, but 2 English teams. Righty, let's talk about your team.
Go on, then.
I know you'll be very happy now.
I am very happy.
But I just want to say something. The Crossways WhatsApp group was going off last week because he's got beat. Alex is now saying they're the best team in the world.
Can I just say, she needed that, I think, Renee.
Yeah.
When you look at the cups and the cup competitions that we've gone out of, the way we performed up to this point, you know, yes, we had a nice bounce when she came in, and it's really good for her to get that momentum. But like, we were starting to worry. I think people were starting to worry, is that can she get us to that next level of winning in a competition of this stature? And obviously losing the first game, and rightly, I think, criticised for the tactics in that game, especially when we saw how it came about. But, you know, for them to bring them to the Emirates, and like, you did feel like, okay, that pitch was a leveller. You know, you do feel that when they come back to the Emirates, depending on how they start and how intense they are and what they can get those goals back against that Real Madrid side, because we know, as much as they've beaten Barcelona, we know that Barcelona had an off day. This team can be easily put under pressure. And, depending on how you start, you can breach them. I thought it was brilliant. It was a brilliant...
That was probably the best performance that I've seen of Arsenal this season.
Can I just say, and Chloe Kelly in particular, because we're talking about a first half where it could have easily got frustrating and people being impatient about what they've got to do because the game's so important. But honestly, Chloe Kelly, and Roscoe was there, and he was saying, I haven't seen an Arsenal player in the women's game have the crowd in her hands like this. Everything she done. She was pushing people up. She was talking to people, getting to come here, making sure that people were on it, on the game, do not relent from what we're doing. And then obviously we came out in the second half. Cross was brilliant for Leslie, who had a great game. But it's her drive and her determination what made me think, oh my gosh. I know Nick Cushing's at City now and, everybody loves him at City because he's a good manager. I'm hoping that, now that Gareth's gone, what are we doing about making sure that we have that kind of, that Chloe Kelly in the dress, because she was magnificent last night.
She is certainly, especially them last few games, the one at Liverpool,
yes.
Where you guys won 4-0, but also especially Wednesday. That cross and Leslie getting across the front post was coming within the first 15 to 20 minutes. And for me, the most impressive thing was the energy that you guys brought. And obviously at the Emirates, the crowd are always amazing.
Yeah.
And I think as soon as you can get that adds extra pressure to the team. But from a Real Madrid point of view, I thought they were really, really poor.
Yeah, they were.
I think you've got big players like Linda Caicedo, you've got Caroline Weir.
I think they missed loopholes, didn't they?
They massively did, because that meant that Kaz was a little bit deeper.
Yes.
So, and then also you have an Angadal that's deeper as well to kind of protect the back four with Taletti. So for me, Real Madrid's game plan was shocking. They didn't play to any of their strengths. They didn't, I think for the first 20 minutes, they probably hardly touched the ball. Didn't even cross the halfway line. Which, for me, when you've got someone like Caicedo, Ian, use her pace.
You've got to use her pace. The game, for me, the game should be all funneled with the funnel everything towards Caicedo. She should obviously have the freedom to go where she wants because of her ability. But I think Loopholt's missing was massive. And, again, it was the pitch. It was down to the pitch where she got injured. But, not being able to spring someone like Caicedo in respects of her pace, skill. Same, with Caroline Weir, kind of negated her. You just think to yourself, this is just a case of Arsenal staying intensified. I thought, and I've been giving her a bit of stick recently, and I wouldn't say stick, but criticism, I thought that Kim Little in that game came to the fore as the big experience, big game player that she can be. I thought yesterday was the Kim Little that we've needed for the whole of the season, and obviously the stature of the game brought it out of her, but a magnificent performance from her.
The thing that I knew that Arsenal were going to win was in that midfield battle. I think that balance was right. I think Marnham in that number 10, Caldenti kind of anchoring with Kim. And that is the balance that you guys have probably struggled with. And obviously Cooney Crosses came in and done really well this season, so it was a bit kind of like, oh, why is she on the bench? But actually it's proved to work because...
It was a bad decision.
But Caldenti, we absolutely love Caldenti. I think she's been Arsenal's best player this season.
She has to be in the centre.
Central, she's able to impact it quite a lot. And I think them in the first half, them runs from her weren't really as prominent as what Chloe was trying to do, which was cross and that second 6-yard box. But Caldenti's goal typifies what they were trying to do in the second half. And I think Russo, she looks a bit more of, I said she looked more mature, and I think she's understanding what she's supposed to be doing in certain instances. And she's just ruthless at the moment. She could have had 6, really.
She could have. She was it 2 offside as well?
Yeah, 2 offside.
You know something? As soon as she gets her mind in that, I don't care. Even if I'm going to finish everything I can. I like when Leslie is in and around the box, right? You know what I mean? I don't like when things are coming in and around and she's not in and around there, because she does do a lot of work and link up play, and she's getting even better at it. But what I'm seeing from her is there's a ruthlessness about her in the box that she's starting to grasp even more. Get those goals. if you can score 5, 6, and just get the goals.
And them connections are happening now, aren't they?
Yes.
I think.
And Chloe, you know what I mean? Honestly, you know how happy I am for Chloe, you know what I mean? Making decisions to leave City, get to a place where she can play football, fortunate enough to get it at Arsenal and reacting to it and coming with the goods. Playing up front with Leslie, England, Chloe, England, with this kind of form, you know, it's perfect for us. It's perfect for England.
Yeah, I agree. I think them connections, you can see they are happening. But as an Arsenal fan, are you not so frustrated about that FA Cup against Liverpool?
Yeah. Especially when you see a performance like that. Of course you are.
Yeah, like that was my thing. It's like that is kind of...
You know, what I would say with that, Steph, is why, and I got a little bit of, well, it's not criticism. It's kind of like, it's positive criticism about saying about the team. And like I mentioned, like, listen, at some stage, the progress has to start happening. We have to start saying, we are capable of these kind of performances. We've seen that. We've seen that we're able to like what we've done with Liverpool after losing to Liverpool, like what we've done to Real Madrid. It's moments, and they're great moments, and the team's capable of doing it. But it's a consistency of doing that is what makes you a great team. And like when I said, there's going to be some of our favourite players are going to probably have to move on. You're going to have to bring some players in because we can't just continue to be the team that we don't know when they're going to win and we don't know when they're going to lose in big games, Steph. And so there's going to have to be some
naturally that happens, doesn't it? And especially when now
some rotation and some players coming in and that stuff.
Bennett is now the manager for a long time, so she can start to build what she wants in that squad. But yeah, I think I was just thinking, oh my God, especially when you beat Liverpool 4-0 at home, I'm thinking, oh my, why did that not happen in the FA Cup? But that is, a lot of it is mentality as well when you're approaching them games. And in FA Cups, you know that potentially something's going to happen. And as a player, you're just like, please just don't let it be us.
Yeah, I think that was a missed opportunity, but like, I can't say it's a missed opportunity when we're through to the semi-finals of the Champions League, you know, about to play Lyon, one of the serial winners. How many times? 8 times, is it?
8 times, yeah.
You know, so we got them next. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not going in negatively because of the performance what I saw us put in against Real Madrid to get to turn that round. But at the same time, that has to be more consistent. And that's why I want to see progress in the team now. I want to see, however this season ends, I want next season with, like you mentioned, Renee, you know what I mean? She hasn't got any signings. Let's see her signings and see where the team can go in respect of bringing in the kind of players with the same hunger and determination we saw against Real Madrid and we see in big games and have that consistently.
But after that performance against Real Madrid at the Emirates, that should give your team a lot of confidence going into this weekend, but also like that run of games after international break.
Yes.
Like I feel as though there was a bit more identity about Arsenal in that game. I think that high press was relentless, Ian. Like, and you were able to do it for a long period of time, and you're able to kind of suffocate your opponent as much as possible. So they don't know what to do, and eventually the goal was always going to come. If it didn't come in the first half, it was definitely come in the second half, and that's what happened because they couldn't get out of it. They had no way of tactically getting out of that situation because you guys were just all over them.
Obviously, I'm not going too far forward in respects of the Lyon game because we know about their experience and the great players they've got. But like the crosses, which I thought really undone Real Madrid and Chloe Kelly and what her skill set is, with like, you know, what we're going to do about like Wendy Renard when we're going to be trying to put crosses in, you know, those kind. What
a legend, by the way.
Unbelievable, yeah. I was watching her again yesterday. You know, Hedberg. I think Hedberg came off the bench. You know, and scored a goal. So I'm looking forward to that game because of the clash and the fact that our players are going to have to find something more. Because I don't think it's going to be just crosses. We're going to really need Mariona Caldente to be at her best in that middle creative. We're going to need Leslie to be at her very best linking and taking chances if they come. And anybody. I thought Caitlin Ford. Caitlin was brilliant with her energy as well. So we're going to need Arsenal's best. And that is what I love, that's the scenario that they find themselves in.
And also Van Domselaar in goal.
Yeah, she was brilliant.
It adds an extra dimension to you guys, and that's not disrespect to Zinsberger, but I think some of the saves that she did make, especially just before half-time against Caicedo, they're important moments to keep you in the tie. Yeah,
but I don't think, Steph, that it is disrespectful when you look at Zinsberger because with all due respect to her, and you know, she's done brilliant. She's a great servant for us. She's obviously fantastic in the dressing room. But when you get yourself into a situation where you are worried about, hopefully she'll do well today. We know that all goalkeepers make mistakes, but you're thinking, hopefully she doesn't make a mistake that's going to cost us. It's not good for the well-being of your defence.
Yeah.
You know, Van Domsela gives us a little bit more stability and confidence about making certain saves, and that helps you.
Is that Arsenal's strongest team?
What we saw the other day?
Yeah. Oh, you're getting Cooney Cross in there.
You know something? With the way Kim played, it wouldn't be a bad thing for Cooney Cross to see that kind of performance.
Yeah.
Now, you know, obviously I love Kyra and I love Kyra playing, but if Kim can be producing that kind of form, then I don't think Kyra would have too many complaints.
No.
If Kim is playing like that, because the best thing about it, I should say, is she's actually seeing what is needed in games of that caliber.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? She has been brilliant, I think, this season as well with what she's done.
Really good.
You know what I mean? I would love to see her playing in a game of that stature and see how she rises in it, because we know she's capable. She's played on the international stage. She's a top player. But if Kim's playing like that, it's not going to be too long before Kyra's going to be having to come in and take that role.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, if Kim's playing like that, then she should play. But then Kyra will get her opportunity, and she's got to see that's the levels.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I've got all the confidence that Kyra will do that as well.
Yeah. 2 English teams in the semi-final.
So, yes, quite pleased about that. I'm really pleased that one of them's mine, Steph.
I know, I'm pleased for you. I am.
I was disappointed for you, Steph, because I know what it means to the team. But again, just looked like a City team that came good at the end. But like I feel that earlier on in the season, the rotation may have cost them at this stage of the season.
Yeah.
Obviously, I have to ask you, out of the teams now, obviously Chelsea and Arsenal, who do you see maybe getting through to the final? Because without my Arsenal hat on...
Is that why you've asked me the question? Because you've got your Arsenal hat on now.
Yeah, because I got my Arsenal hat on. Experience of Chelsea, probably.
I'm fascinated to see how like the first legs go.
Yeah.
Both games.
Yeah.
I mean, ideally for our league, it would be fantastic for both of them to get through. I think just show the quality of what we have
at that end. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there's no reasons, especially Arsenal and Chelsea's last game, why they couldn't go through. But you're looking at two experienced teams.
Yeah, Steph.
Lyon and Barca, who know how to win this competition. So,
I would never ever go against my team. I want them to win it. But we're going into a game where obviously our opponents are the winningest team in this Champions League in the women's era. So they're going in with a lot of experience. We're going in with, let's say, inconsistent form. Like I'm saying, we don't know when that performance, what we saw against Real Madrid's coming. If we can put that performance in, it's going to be a tough game, but I could see us winning. If Leslie's at her best, Mariona Caldente's at her best, if Chloe's at her best, we're doing what she's doing. If Kim can control that midfield and at her best, like we're going to need her to.
Yeah.
You know, defensively, we have to be solid. Leah, solid. You know, not giving balls away. Goalkeeper play well. Absolutely, we can beat them. But it's going to take everything that we've got. But if you're looking at Chelsea, with their experience, with their bench, you know, you have to say that they've got to be favourites to get to the finals as well against Barcelona, who again themselves are one of the greatest women's teams, you know, with the experience. So, you know, you look at both of our teams, Chelsea and Arsenal, have to be at their very best.
Yeah, they have to be near perfect. I think to win a Champions League, you have to be that.
Yeah, I'm sure that people would fancy Chelsea more than they fancy Arsenal, which is something that I don't mind, because then they don't go in there with a lot of pressure, and we are going in against the serial winners of it. So, you know, obviously Chelsea will be favourites, but I'm very much saying that I think Arsenal can do it.
Predictions. Right. So I know that everybody loves our predictions, and we're getting a lot better, I think.
Are we getting better at it now?
I think so, because Ian,
you're too competitive.
Last week you got the Villa Man United score correct. Well done, congratulations. Round of applause.
Thank you.
And I got the West Ham Spurs game correct.
Yeah.
However,
congratulations.
That was the one you tried to copy off me, and then last minute you changed your mind. So that more fool you for trying to copy.
You see, that's what happens, because you're better. I just thought, let me copy it so I can at least get one right.
Yeah, okay.
What's it? How's it make
so
standings? So
Ian, you are on 56 points. I need a drum roll from someone. Come on. And I'm on 70 points.
Why you look like
See, everybody loves the fact that I'm winning.
Yeah, but why is everybody behind the scenes like making me excited about, oh, yeah, you're doing so well this week.
And you're getting inside information and I'm
not getting inside information off of Alex. Everybody, I feel like people are against me in my predictions. I'm 20 points behind. Was it 70 you got?
Yeah, 70.
And I got 50.
56 you're
56 is still so far behind. I've got to try and do something this week.
Do you want to go for these ones then, this week's? So, Chelsea, West Ham.
Chelsea came off of a big emotional day. 3-1. Chelsea.
I'm going to go 2-0.
You're not giving West Ham a go?
No. Why? Why are you giving
What
West
did you
Ham
say?
a go? I said 2-0. Chelsea, West Ham.
I'll go 3-0. If it's 3-1 now, I'm going to be gutted.
Why are you not giving West Ham a goal?
I'm trying to think who's going to score after this.
No, I can't, yeah.
No, I'm not giving them a goal. 3-0.
Okay. Leicester, Spurs. Do you want me to go first on this one?
Is Beth England fit? I can't remember if Beth's fit in it. Yeah.
I'm going to go 1-0 Leicester.
Leicester to beat them?
Yeah, Leicester beat Brighton last week, 3-2.
You got 1-0?
I'm going to go 1-0, yeah. I can't see Spurs scoring.
That's a good score. I would have took that if I was first.
Do the same and don't change your mind.
No, because I'm going to go 2-0. I'm going to say Leicester will score 2.
Yeah?
Yeah, 2-0 Leicester.
Perfect. Liverpool, Villa.
I'm going to go Liverpool.
Sames. Villa, I do not know what's going on.
2-0 Liverpool. You wanted that, didn't you?
Yeah, I wanted 2-0. I'm going to go...
You can go 2-0.
3-0. 3-0 Liverpool.
I was going to do that as well because...
I just give you the chance to do it first as well.
If it's 3-0,
You're in your own head now.
I'm rent-free in my own head. You know what? If it's 3-0, I'm going to just say, right, I'm going to stop because I'm going to go with 2-0. But if I've changed my mind...
You can't just stop. We've got 4 more games to do.
2-0 then, I'm going to go. You gone 3-0.
3-0, yeah. Man United, Everton.
Everton 1-0.
Oh.
You like that?
Yeah, I do actually. That's optimistic. And Everton are playing well. They beat Palace last week.
Man, you're playing well though as well. They're doing all right.
I'm going to go 2-1 Man United.
2 United.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a lot of match winners, them, you know. They've got a lot of people who can score goals. What did I say again? 1-0
You said 1-0 Everton. And you're convincing yourself out of it now.
Yeah, it's not a good score. I'm going to go with 3-1 United.
Right, you just need to say the first prediction.
No. Your first prediction. What does
go on. Do your 3-1 Man United.
If it's 1-0 to Everton, will you give it me?
No, absolutely not. I should get the points for that. No, okay, you've won 3-1 Everton. You've locked that in.
Did I go 3-1 Everton?
3-1 Man United, sorry.
I go 3-1 United.
Right, okay. Palace, Arsenal.
Wow. I'm going to go... See, Arsenal should be buoyed.
I'm going to go 3-0 Arsenal.
3-0 Arsenal? I wanted to do 3-0 Arsenal.
Do 3-0?
No, because I don't want to have the same score as you. So
but
people
you do
say I'm
really,
trying to hang
deep
on.
down.
I would have taken 3-0. But now I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal.
Okay, 2-0.
2-0?
And then last one is Brighton v City.
City is so deflated and they look tired, Steph. It's going to be a tough game.
This is an important game for City as well.
It is. They need to win it.
Mm-hmm.
And Brighton got nothing to lose here. I'm going to go with City to win still, though. I'm going to go City 2-1. I'm going
to go the same.
You're going to go City 2. It looks like a 2-1. You know what?
Yeah.
I think that if City can get themselves going after the disappointment and get this done, it will show good mental strength.
It'd be interesting to see how Brighton come back because obviously they got beat last week.
Yeah.
And they've been in good form, so it'd be a good game. But let's just see what happens next week.
Let's see what happens next week. Can I say before we go, I'm really sorry how it panned out for City last night. But I thought that Nick coming back is a good thing. Mm-hmm. So hopefully they can win this week. But
hopefully. And congratulations to you guys and also to Chelsea.
Yes.
2 semi-finalists is amazing.
So well done. And thanks for listening, everybody.
Thank you.
We'll see you again next week. Take it easy.
Bye.
Bye. Bye from Crossways.
Bye.